In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we'll join the Falmouth Police Department for their annual National Police Week ceremony, board the Island Queen as they launch a new online reservation system, and get an important message about COVID-19 vaccinations from Falmouth School District physician. All this and much more on this episode of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. As more and more Cape residents have been receiving their COVID-19 vaccines in recent weeks, it's important that we all monitor the Commonwealth's easing of mask guidelines so that we can continue to protect our fellow residents and visitors while we continue on a path to normalcy. Falmouth's health agent, Scott McGann, encourages residents to refer to the Falmouth website at falmouthma.gov for links to the latest vaccine information and masking guidelines. You can view his Friday video briefings on FCTV Government Channel 15, our Facebook page, and fctv.org. Across the country, the week of May 15th is dedicated as National Police Week. Last year, pandemic safety protocols forced Police Chief Edward Dunn to stand outside alone and mark the remembrance of a virtual broadcast. This year, Chief Dunn was joined by a host of his fellow officers, town officials, family, friends, and well-wishers to express their gratitudes and place a wreath on a monument for our own officer, Samuel Pierce, a Falmouth policeman who was killed in the line of duty in 1933.
Hi, I'm Chief Edward Dunn of the Falmouth Police Department, and today we had a ceremony here at the Police Department to honor those officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice and died in the line of duty. Each year, on the week of May 15th, it is celebrated or remembered in ceremonies across the country, across the world, as Police Week. 1963, President John F. Kennedy declared the week of the 15th Peace Officers Memorial Day, and we have always celebrated it here when we discovered many years ago that we had an officer, Samuel F. Pierce, who died in the line of duty in 1933, a tragic motorcycle accident. But it means a tremendous amount to have and hold this event and have these events to honor those officers who have left us, who have served their communities as heroes and with pride, and were taken from us much too soon, either by violence or with this year alone. The pandemic has taken well over 263 officers in 2020 from COVID. So to have a week that you can remember those who have made that ultimate sacrifice means a lot to the men and women of the Falmouth Police Department and men and women across the country, just to remember those people who have done that.
For police officers and their families, the acknowledgement of law enforcement's sacrifice is deeply appreciated. In attendance that day was the great-grandnephew of Officer Samuel Pierce. Thanks to Eileen Preston and Jeff Wyman for that story. It's time now for 3 things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
An update was given to the Select Board at its regular Monday meeting last week regarding the fire department's stations and staffing. The Select Board directed the town manager to come back to the board with a staffing model that will keep all fire stations open and operational, including the West Falmouth station. The board reassured the public that it does not plan to close the West Falmouth station and may entertain the idea of combining the outdated North and West Falmouth fire stations into one Northwest station in the future.
And if a 5-station model is the ultimate perfect model for Falmouth, then we should move toward that, but at the same time, not at the expense of just closing a station arbitrarily because we're going to build one in Hatchville. So I feel like we do need this long-term discussion, but as Mr. Jones said, for now, until we get that Northwest coming into play, we need to operate all of our stations that exist now until we have a better replacement. So I think Mr. Jones hit it right on the head.
The Select Board also discussed the Joint Base Cape Cod proposed machine gun range. One point of the discussion was to decide whether or not the board should join the Association to Preserve Cape Cod in opposition to the range, citing that it may be disruptive to local wildlife and potentially a concern for the area's sole source aquifer, which provides drinking water to citizens on Cape Cod.
Well, I would say Andrew Gottlieb has given us, the statement from the Association for the Protection of Cape Cod, and has a lot of really good points in it. And I think it would be fine. I would like to see staff come up with a letter that basically puts this select board, at least, in a position of opposing the machine gun range because of the environmental impact issues.
Doug Brown?
I'm not sure that we've really identified any environmental issues other than the tree cutting. And in fact, when you cut trees on sandy soil, it actually recharges the aquifer faster. I mean, nobody wants to lose trees, but they really have proven to this environmental commission that there's no significant impact. And I'm a freshwater advocate. I like to see the bays cleaned up, and I'm concerned about PFAS in our ponds. And I'm very active with the Falmouth Water Stewards. But even our group found that it was pretty negligible what likely impact would be on the aquifer because they have a real good cleanup plan. The other thing is they're proposing to really actively manage the forest in conjunction with the Crane Wildlife Preserve. So there's some positives to this, and I'd like to, it's a shame that we don't have more information given us from the Guard, and we're forced into this position where we are, considering supporting APCC versus supporting the military.
The Falmouth EDIC then gave a presentation to the Select Board to give a brief history of the proposed fiber network in Falmouth and to remind the board where the project stands today. The presentation displayed the overall need for faster and more reliable internet than what is now provided to community members. The EDIC presentation then went over detailed financial plans which would make for an affordable and feasible plan going forward.
Here's what the system looks like that CCG designed. It's got 390 miles of aerial fiber in blue, 70 miles of buried. It would serve 14,000 full-time residents, 7,800 seasonal. And you have the costs here, $54 million plus.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll hear about plans for the Falmouth Art Market this summer. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Carissa April, a retired Coast Guard commander.
And I'm Carol Kenny with the Falmouth Military Support Group and the Falmouth Veterans Council. For close to 20 years now, I've been working to support military service members, veterans, and their families in our area. And now I have something very exciting to share for our community.
The late Joe Quintiliani, Joe Q to his friends, was a distinguished Coast Guard veteran and career firefighter. More than anything else, Joe wanted simply to lend a hand to another veteran. Joe Q had a vision to improve the quality of life for those who served by providing the support and information today's veterans and their families need. In recognition of his selfless service to the veteran community, the Joe Q Veteran Coffee Break organization was named in his honor. We have set a course to make Joe Q's vision a reality for Falmouth area veterans and their families for many years to come. More than just a coffee break, Joe Q's work is for Cape Cod veterans and their families, by Cape Cod veterans and their families. Our all-volunteer, not-for-profit organization in Falmouth is working hard to make the vision of a local veterans center a reality. Creating a space for area veterans to meet and find resources for the best possible quality of life is an important undertaking for our community. More than just meeting for coffee, we're bringing together veterans of all ages and eras, welcoming members of all branches of military service. With your support, we look forward to a veteran community where each and every participant can build relationships and support each other. We envision serving as a hub for veterans and their families to find resources and take advantage of programs, including adult education and training, health and wellness, legal advising, and hobbies and skills. We can't wait to make this vision a reality.
Welcome back. The Falmouth Art Market has been around for many seasons, and with the pandemic limiting in-person contact, market organizers are looking forward to this year's in-person reopening.
Well, we're delighted that we actually are going to be open this year because we were very disappointed that we couldn't be out meeting everybody, and so the energy is really high. Everybody's had time to make all their art and be creative, and people are talking back and forth and are very excited about setting up their tents and meeting all the visitors that will be coming through this summer. Every year we have a handful of musicians that show up and perform live on the bandshell stage, and they perform from 2 to 4. And I guess I must say too that the book booth, the authors will be there from 12 to 2. And the book bike will be coming by in the morning around 11 o'clock. It encourages people to get out and encourages to promote the local artists and enhances the cultural aspects of our community and brings people together. And at this point, after COVID-19, anything we can do now to get people out and about and support one another is important. Let's see, the list goes jewelry and collages and watercolor prints. We'll be offering pillows, photography, painting, fiber arts, wooden bowls, and many, many other things that we'd like people to come and discover. The art market is supported by the Falmouth Cultural Council, and we are dedicated in preserving and supporting the arts and the artisans. And so we would like, to have a good atmosphere, and it doesn't only support or affect the visitors, but also the local residents of our community, and it brings our community together.
The Falmouth Art Market will be held every Thursday in July and August from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Marine Park. Thanks to Bob Fenstermaker for that story. The Island Queen has been ferrying passengers from Falmouth to Oak Bluffs on Martha's Vineyard for over 60 years. The challenges that COVID-19 has brought to this seasonal service has resulted in the implementation of a new web-based booking system, allowing passengers to complete and manage ferry reservations on the Island Queen Ferry website. FCTV hopped aboard the Island Queen to learn more.
I'm Todd Bidwell, General Manager of the Island Queen Ferry, and we're here in the wheelhouse of the Island Queen on a very beautiful spring day. There are some big changes at the Island Queen that I'm excited about, and they are a result of the COVID pandemic from last season. The opportunity for the Island Queen was to be able to create a system that our passengers would not be required to arrive to the boat quite as early as they have in the past. We wanted to help Oak Bluffs manage the crowds and to avoid bringing in what typically might be 500, 600 passengers all for one sailing, with many of those folks maybe not getting on the boat because of reduced passenger capacities. This year, we thought it was a perfect opportunity to introduce a fully based reservation system at the Island Queen. So now passengers will be able to book their tickets, make their reservations, manage their reservations all online at islandqueen.com or through the Island Queen app that's available for download at the Apple Store and on Google Play. It was an important decision we made because we wanted to give passengers, again, the comfort of knowing that they'd be able to secure a spot on the Island Queen. And it also gives us the opportunity to spread our passengers out throughout the day and throughout the week. Many businesses have had to make similar changes and adjustments through their operation. And I think the benefit of this season of 2021 is the fact that we're going to now be able to implement some of the things we learned and experienced and create some operational changes that will both be a benefit to our passengers, but also to us operationally.
Just on behalf of myself, Captain Moore, the Island Queen, all the Island Queen staff, we just welcome everyone aboard this summer for a nice time aboard the Queen, and we'll do our best to keep everyone's travel as safe as possible. Once aboard, we have reduced the capacity to only 60% to try to maintain social distancing here aboard the vessel, and masks are required on all decks, interior and exterior, for the duration of the voyage.
We're looking forward to introducing this reservation system to you, and I have a good feeling that this year, though there may be some hiccups, we trust that they'll be far and few between and easily resolvable. And based on this year's experience, we have every intention to continue accepting reservations for all passengers moving forward in 2022 and beyond.
Go to islandqueen.com to learn more about this new reservation system. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. It's time now for our monthly Be Well segment with Niisa Morton. This month, Niisa teaches us some simple exercises to help improve our balance. Let's take a look.
Hello, my name is Niisa Morton, and I'm a wellness educator and instructor. Today I will demonstrate ways to improve your balance. If you're not sure you should do these movements, please check with your healthcare provider. Now, balance is really important, and it's very important for fall prevention. A lot of factors come into how we have our balance and how we can improve our balance. Sometimes our vision gets a little narrowed as we get older, and that affects our balance. Our hearing affects our balance, as well as our proprioception. If we have any numbness or tingling in our feet for any reason, that can affect our balance. So those are all factors that start to limit or reduce our ability to hold our balance. And we want to build our balance through strength, through practice every day, and by doing these movements that I'm about to show you, so that you can constantly train your body and how to hold your balance when you need it. So, standing nice and tall, I want you to press into your feet. Feel the ground through your feet. The closer your feet are together, the more difficult it will be to hold your balance. So if you need to part your feet about hip width apart, that will be easier to hold your balance. From here, stand up nice and tall. Our posture has a lot to do with how we hold it as well. Roll your shoulders back and down and reach the top of your head towards the sky, holding your core muscles in and supporting your back. A strength move that I like to do for balance is marching in place. As I march in place, I'm building strength through my legs, I'm building strength through my core, and it will help me improve my balance. If you notice, marching is also a momentary one-legged stance. That also improves your balance. Another activity you can do is chair sits. If you have a chair that is not on rollers, is a stable chair, I want you to practice lowering and lifting. Lowering and lifting. And once again, this improves the muscle strength in your legs, back, and abdomen in order to improve your balance. Once you have your chair out and you've done some exercises to strengthen your balance, some good activities to do is stand with your hand on a chair or on a wall and practice a one-legged stance. You can stand with the foot that's closest to the chair on the floor and bring the other leg up. Make sure you look at something, whether it's a piece of furniture or maybe something on the ground, in order to hold your focus for balance. You can do this on either side, switching sides or turning around to place a hand on the wall or on the chair. Practicing balance. Another tip is to turn the head while practicing your one-legged stance. So lifting the leg and turning the head from side to side. I suggest trying these every day. Remember, keep your body moving every day, and may you be happy and may you be well.
Thanks to Niisa Morton for that helpful demonstration. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll check in at the Falmouth Public Schools. Stay with us. Welcome back. Recently, children between the ages of 12 and 15 became eligible for the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, the biggest indication yet that life could soon return to something more like normal for many American teenagers. Here's more from Falmouth Public Schools district physician on what this means for Falmouth students.
Hi, I'm pediatrician and school doctor Greg Parkinson, here with the great news that a COVID-19 vaccine is now approved for those 12 years and older. The vaccine is extremely effective and safe in young people, and it's easy to get. I was so happy and relieved when my family was able to get vaccinated. I hope you and your family are protected, or will be soon. Because this pandemic has been so hard on so many people, our youth has given up a tremendous amount. And they have done a fantastic job of wearing masks, washing hands, and staying socially distanced. But now we have a path forward and the tools to defeat the virus, to let kids play and learn and see their loved ones and friends like they used to. You can get a vaccine through the town, from the state, from your local pharmacy, or from wherever else you have access. Go online or call if you need to. Just do it. We now have hope that life can return to normal. So hold out your arm and arm yourself with protection.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that story. With the May warm weather upon us, we checked in with Ryan Collins of My Fishing Cape Cod for some techniques on catching sea bass.
In today's episode, my wife Lauren and I are having success with big scup by anchoring up over structure and using squid for bait. Now it's time to switch techniques in hopes of catching our first big black sea bass of the 2020 season. All right, Lauren, so the tide is moving a bit, the current's picked up, so we're gonna start drifting, and you're gonna drop that jig right to the bottom and jig it just a foot or two off the bottom. Sound good?
That sounds good.
The area that Lauren and I have been fishing today, it's got a pretty swift current. There's all sorts of rocks and boulders around. There's many places like this throughout Buzzards Bay, Nantucket Sound, Vineyard Sound, where you can catch sea bass. The season this year opened up on May 18th, but sea bass can be caught throughout the whole summer, and during the summer months you can even catch them in Cape Cod Bay. although they're really not nearly as plentiful, it seems, in Cape Cod Bay as they are during the spring in Nantucket Sound and Buzzards Bay in particular. How many seconds does it take for you to hit bottom?
Well, it was 15 or 20 seconds, but now it's a lot longer.
All right, I think you're on bottom now.
Okay.
And just give that a little action. Lift it up, drop it down, lift it up, drop it down. And as we go in the current here, hopefully we'll be able to pick a few sea bass on the drift.
Okay. Do I keep doing this?
Yep. You got a little something?
I think it's stuck on something.
Yeah, you got weed or something. Yep, reel that in. Oh, you might have a fish.
Oh my God, I do have a fish. I thought
good.
he didn't fight at first.
It's fighting now.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, that's a good sea bass. That's a big one.
Oh.
That's a really nice
Oh, he's
one.
nice and blue. Ryan, don't let me lose him.
Bring him over here. There
yes!
we go. All right.
Woo!
That's a really nice one.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, that worked out.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh my God. What do I do?
Just watch his spines there.
He's got spines?
Just on his dorsal fin, yeah. Lip him in the mouth, just like you did last time.
Hey, how about that? I got one. Wow, he's so pretty and blue. Okay.
All right.
Take him. Does he pass the test?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. 19 inches.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh, he's beautiful.
It had been a great trip. And with a keeper black sea bass and several big scup in the cooler, it was time to head back and take Lauren out to lunch.
So today was a lot of firsts for me. I caught my first black sea bass. Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to cook them up. I got a couple big scup too, and all in all, I outfished Ryan yet again, so I'm on a roll. But it was a beautiful day out here. It was my first boat day of 2020, and I'm looking forward to more.
Thanks to Ryan Collins from My Fishing Cape Cod for that segment. FCTV wants to remind you that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds from the annual Woods Hole Library plant sale. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.